think that as a journalist, if you have the relevant authorities there to take action after you've exposed something, then you've won half of the fight. If I could put it in those terms. That's why I'm saying, yes, I have achieved my goal, but not fully. And the third question that you asked is, have I done a follow-up on the story? The answer to that is no. I have not done a follow-up to the story because I have since changed newspapers. I have moved from the Daily Dispatch. I have moved from East London to Cape Town. Now I work for a national paper. The Daily Dispatch is the regional paper. It focuses on regional issues. Whereas the paper that I'm working for right now, it covers the whole of South Africa, not just the Eastern Cape. So it's not a story that you could run for a national newspaper because it's not a national issue, it's a provincial issue. If you want to tackle national issue, then you have to go across the whole country and basically do the same story all over again in order for the story to appeal to your national market. So if I wanted to write the story for the main and London, basically I'd have to travel to out of South Africa and to basically implement the same principles as I did with the story. Then it would get national issue. There would be more slumlords exposed. And I think the third or fourth part to the question was, what can you do to identify a story and arrange the planning before you go to the story? I think as journalists, stories are always honest. It's just a matter of speaking to the right people to find the right information. You know, there is a story everywhere you go. There is a story. It's just a matter of can you identify the story or not. And in order for you to identify the story, you need to have a news sense. You need to know what would make news and what wouldn't. So a good news sense is the key. It's one of the biggest attributes a journalist must have. You need to be able to identify a story and say that is the story, when no one else can see a story. And as an investigative journalist, you need to take the story deeper. You need to take it deeper. It's not like daily journalism, where you go out and interview people and you publish a following them. With our stories take weeks, they take months. Crash. There's normally a pattern. You just added a pattern of events. If I could make a suggestion, if you tackle a story, create an event, then you'll be able to trace the sequence of events. Like, if you have been doing a story for 3 years and you have not published it, you need to have a timeline to tell you what happened, when, who was involved, how it happened. That is essential. So I created a timeline for Slumlords, starting from when this woman first bought her first house, up until the last house. And you're able to see the difference in spaces of time before each house is bought. If the 7 houses that were bought over a period of 5 years, then that gives an average of about maybe one house being bought every year and a half. So every 18 months, she was pretty much buying a house. Then you calculate how much she was working, how much she was earning at that time to be able to afford those houses. So that's what I'm saying. You need to create a timeline. You need to take the story deeper. You need to question some things. You know, you need to look for the bigger picture in the story. How does this influence society? How does this influence your neighborhood? How does this influence your school, your university, or whatever, your government? So I think that the key skill for investigative journalists is to be able to identify a story, and you must be able to know how you can take it deeper.
Okay, thank you. Alexander?
Yep, I have a question.
Hi again.
Hi.
sorry to hear that your life was endangered and they threatened to throw you in the river. But
No,
in general terms, in your 5-year career as an investigative journalist, have you been offered money and other benefits to close your mouth? Thank you.
no, I have not been offered any money to close my mouth because the people that, well, people know that, especially people, the newspaper that I'm working for right now, the Maiden Guardian, we have a reputation for being investigative journalists. So they've never tried to give us money, but I've seen it with some of my colleagues where they've been offered lots of money, 500,000 rand to be quiet and so not to publish a story. So it has not happened to me personally. I have never been offered money. I have never accepted any money from anyone, but I've seen it happen to other journalists. I hope that answers your question.
Okay, thank you. I still have a question.
Hi. I wanted to ask you, talk about the fact that how multimedia and print have now been becoming a much more powerful tool for such investigative reporting. And I mean, what sort of multimedia tools are very important for online investigative journalists, and how it has been useful for you to be able to carry on these sort of research and investigative, and being able to get it more deeper and dig into things, as compared to, suppose, electronic and other radio medium channels. Thank you.
Multimedia can be very useful for investigative journalists. I think you need to have the right people who know about creating websites and using the different applications. But yes, online media is slowly taking over newspapers. That's a reality that each and every journalist has to live by, you know, because they're cheaper and quicker access to news. It's more, you know, it's more, the news is faster, let me put it that way. With a newspaper, you have to wait until the following day, or you know, you have an afternoon edition of the paper. But with online media, you have the ability to get your stuff out there very quickly. So, I mean, for my project specifically, we use various applications to create, like the photo album that we did. We used the Flash application to do that, where when you're turning the page, you know, digitally, it actually looks like you're turning a physical page of a book or a magazine. It kind of flips over like that. I don't know if you can see my hand, but it flips over like that.
Yeah,
I don't know if you guys have seen the album that we did.
I'm showing them right now.
Have you seen the album that we did?
Yeah, I'm showing them right now on the web. That's possible. See if that picture.
Yeah, I mean, that's the one application you could use. It actually looks like it's a real album.
Indeed. There's also a question from Marcus first. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, hey. In the aim, you said the aim was to stop the exploitation of the people living in this horrible condition. Did you ever feel at any point that perhaps in your quest for that aim you exploited the people, or the story exploited the people themselves?
No, I don't think, no. Not at any stage did I feel like the story was exploiting people, because as I said, I told them, I was upfront with them. When I started living in the house, I spoke to each and every person that lived in the house, and I said, this is who I am, this is where I'm from, this is why I'm doing what I'm doing. So